What's up, family? Welcome to Ask to My Ox,
where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 my dog is bigger than hip hop.
This right here is my sensitive wife. You know?
This right here, this is my go hard husband. How he's at?
How be going hard?
You just did.
I do.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and jump right into this question. She says, "I am not black. I am white, and my husband is Hispanic."
Now, I want to say something. I know you ain't saying much, but I just want to say this because that sentence alone brings up for me sometimes a question that we get. People will send us questions or seek out counseling or coaching from us, and they'll say, "Well, I'm white. I'm whatever color. But I'm not black. Do you work with people who are not black?" I'm always amazed. Like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the issues, that we deal with are human issues. And there are things unique to African Americans in our culture as there are things unique to every culture. But yes, please know, we just want to say it as many times as we can and as many videos as we can so that people understand that because we are BlackLoveAndMarriage.com, we are talking to African Americans in particular, but to our society and to all human beings in general. We come from an African American perspective in certain ways because that's who we are. How can you not? You understand what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that I'm not a human being and that my husband's not a human being and we don't all have these same kinds of issues in relationships. Most of the issues in most of the relationships in the world are the same. So yes, I just want to say that because people ask that question a lot of times.
All right, so she says, "I'm not black, I am white, and my husband is Hispanic. I love your website, and I read it every day. We appreciate that. I hope that it is okay. I have a question. If you want, you can do a video chat about it. I have been married to my husband for 11 years, together 12, and my husband is an alcoholic. I have 3 girls. The 2 oldest are 5, born 12 weeks early, December 26th of 06, and 15 months old, December 27th of 2010. Okay. I think I'm not doing the math, but I think that's all right. I have always had a rocky marriage, and it's been very hard. My husband has had now 4 DUIs and will be serving time for at least 6 years. His last DUI, he almost killed himself and the other young man he hit head on.
Wow.
I make no excuses, and I have been going to church and trying to get into some groups to be a better person. I want to be married to my husband. We got married young. He was 20 and I was 23, and I believe you get married once and try to work everything out. I had something, or better yet, a program downloaded into his phone where I could read all of his texts. Once I installed the program on the phone, I got a hit right away. And I knew for all the years I was right. Right about what? I'm assuming that somebody was texting him that wasn't supposed to be texting him.
Okay.
I am no longer jealous because I read her personal trials.
She read her
personal trials. But when I ask him, he says that they're just friends. Do I show him the proof I have, or do I just file for divorce? Or how do I bring it out into the light? He will be serving a sentence of 6 years, but out in 3. But his court date for that, it was in June. He's already served 8 months so far, again. So what do you recommend that I do? I thank you for your hard time and dedication. Have a wonderful day." Now, we read these questions as they come in, so if you don't understand something, we're reading it as is. What you think, babe?
Well, I think you have a few things that you have to pay attention to and you have to look at. You all have been together for 11 years, and so you're focusing here.
They really do. I'm not sure if y'all are looking at my wife.
But we said focus on the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted by my wife's lips.
Oh my God. Wow. You're focusing in on the infidelity that it seems that, maybe going on. You didn't spell that out, and she didn't say that it was infidelity, but apparently there's some inappropriate texting that's happening, right? You're focusing on that, which is understandable. But and you're asking, should I let him know that I know? Should I just be done with this and roll out or whatever? And I guess you're all she's placing this on the infidelity, I suppose, or the texting, the inappropriate texting that looks like it's cheating, whatever. Okay, that's one. What's one box? The answer to your question: yes, you should let him know that you know. I'm never one who promotes playing games. I don't understand how we like get information and then we hold on to it and then we wait and then we creep and like do this on the side and we like sitting outside in the car. Well, and I'm not saying you're doing all of that, but what I'm saying is that we've got to get out of this kind of trying to get you and playing these kinds of games. We need to be transparent. We need to be honest. And when we do that, everything that we need to know will come to light in one shape, form, or fashion. So yes, you need to let them know that you do know. And whatever your gut tells you, that, this isn't right, that there's something going on that's inappropriate, that there's some cheating, whatever, usually our gut is right. And if he's not able to be straight with you, then that's information that you have. And you need to use that information to decide what you're going to do in your relationship. But yes, you need to bring it out. You got to put it on the table. Y'all can't begin to work through it until you put it on the table. But here's the other piece. Here's the other issue you have. Your husband is an alcoholic. You've been with him for 11 years, and she said that she believes you get married once and you work it out. Love that. Love that. Because too many people just, throwing in the towel because you keep leaving the toothpaste top off the tube or something crazy. You understand? So I'm really, am giving you kudos for that. But you have to look at this thing in terms of alcoholism. Alcoholism is something that oftentimes, because it's not cocaine, because it's not crack, because it's not heroin. You like I said that? You like I said that? Heroin. Because it's not heroin or what have you. People don't understand or respect its power the same way we respect and understand the power of those kinds of drugs. It is addicting. It ruins lives. It is very difficult for people to get off of. People go through withdrawal when they're trying to come off of it. All kinds of stuff.
It's socially acceptable too.
And it's, yes, right. So we don't necessarily always see it in the same light. Now, clearly, your husband has 4 DUIs, almost killed himself and someone else. This is serious. So you got to be asking yourself the question, what is it that I do in relationship to this man I love when it comes to how he is abusing himself? And when it comes to how he is, anytime somebody's an alcoholic, it doesn't just impact the person who's drinking. I'm sure it's impacting your household. It's impacting your children, in so many ways. Lord, there's a bug on the floor over there. Lord, okay, I don't do bugs. Good Lord. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to keep it moving. Get my feet up off the floor. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It just went under that bag. So, the alcoholism. Work with us. I know we kind of all over the place right now, but the alcoholism piece, you've got to get on your knees. You got to pray. You got to do whatever you do. Meditate, make some affirmations. Do what you need to do to get clear on whether or not you need to be in this thing with him. You can be in it with him, but he's got to first be in a place where he acknowledges that there's a problem. Hopefully after 4 DUIs and being locked up for 3 years, he understands and acknowledges that there's a problem, that he's able to get some help. They usually have Alcoholics Anonymous or something of that sort in jail. You can be committed to him, but he's got to be committed to himself and to his process. When people are not willing to help themselves, it is not helpful for you to hang in there with them when they're not willing to help themselves on issues like that. They got to be willing to do that. Otherwise, you will continue to stay with him. You become codependent. You become an enabler. And you just sitting there observing him throw his life away. And sometimes the best thing we can do when we love someone who's in that kind of a state is let them go. And if he's to be with you, then he's to be with you. So you see, we haven't really given you a clear answer as to whether or not she should stay.
Well, she got a third issue
or whether she should go.
He about to be locked up for 6 years. Or 3 years, right?
Well, yeah, but my assumption is that the lockup in and of itself is not something that makes you say, "Should I stay with you?" Maybe it is. But she said that she believes you stay together.
Yeah, the lockup itself doesn't. Well, people do ask the question, "Should I stay or should I go?" based off of incarceration.
Yeah.
And people ask the question, "Should I stay or should I go?" based off of infidelity. We think that those things are a little bit more, I guess, subjective in terms of whether or not you can or cannot work through it. The main issue that we see here that really is a reflection of how he sees himself, which will continue to impact your relationship as well as himself in a negative way.
If he doesn't handle it.
Yeah, it's his alcohol abuse. So that one of all 3 things we think is probably the most significant.
You need to marinate, meditate, and ruminate on that, my sister, in terms of whether or not he is able to really get serious about his illness.
The alcoholism,
it is an illness.
It leads to the infidelity. The alcoholism, it leads to the DUIs. It leads to the incarceration. So again, that sickness, it needs to be addressed.
Right. So at the end of the day, you can't do the work for him. All you can do is assess and observe where he is on his path. And then you've got to look at yourself and see where you are on your path. Can you all walk it together? Only you will be able to say at the end of the day. But make sure that you don't take any of it for a joke. Alcoholism is serious. It ruins families. You've got to be willing to stop playing and start pushing.